Yay, I'm glad at least one person is taking advantage of this examples video. That way I feel like I'm not wasting my time by making them. Okay, so make sure that you have your foreign policy tools, Google Slides open, and your foreign policy goals and tools, Google Doc open. Remember, you're going to be using the slides to help you complete the Google Doc. All right, and if you're having trouble with this assignment, don't worry. This is all level 2 thinking, which is a little bit more critical thinking, just to make sure that you guys are making those grade level growths. All right. So at the top of your Google Doc, I have those 4 goals of foreign policy listed at the top with a little description. Let's go through those super quick. National security, keeping the country safe. Build trade, trading with other nations to strengthen the U.S. economy. Promote world peace, making sure other nations are at peace so it's less risky for the U.S. Spread democracy, promote democracy and human rights in other countries. All right, so with each slide on the Google Slides, there's going to be a tool of foreign policy. So something, an action that the president can do in order to influence other nations. So we're going to go ahead and start with slide 1. We're going to look at treaties and executive agreements and see which one of these goals it best aligns with. Then we're going to explain why it aligns with that goal the best. So let's go ahead and pop over to that Google Slides. Let's read the information on the slide. Treaties and executive agreements. So treaties are formal agreements between 2 or more countries, must be approved by 2/3 of the Senate. For example, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization was formed between the United States, Canada, and Western European nations. They agreed to defend one another if the other was attacked. Okay, so that kind of gives me some ideas on which goal I might start aligning this one with. Let's look at executive agreements over here. These are agreements between the president and the leader of another country. This allows the president to work around the Senate, so they don't have to be approved by the Senate necessarily. Most of the time, these agreements deal with matters like trade. Okay, that gives me an idea. And occasionally they deal with their armed forces working together. That also gives me another idea. All right. So I'm going to go back to my Google Doc. Within this slide, I kind of saw national security, right, where they were talking about protecting each other in case they were attacked. We saw that those executive agreements sometimes deal with trade. So those are 2 potential options. We could also even say like promote world peace with that North Atlantic Treaty Organization where they're protecting other nations and making sure there's peace in other nations. So any one of those 3 could definitely work. I feel like I saw more national security than anything else. So I'm going to go ahead and just write down national security. If you wrote down this one, a different one, or all 3, that's absolutely fine. Most of the time, there are going to be different goals that could align with each one, or it might be multiple goals. So now we have to go ahead and explain why national security aligns best with treaties and executive agreements. So going back to our slide, we're going to use information directly from our slide. So the part that reminded me of national security was this North Atlantic Treaty Organization where the US, Canada, and Western European nations agreed to defend one another if attacked. And then over here, when those executive agreements deal with armed forces of 2 different countries working together. I feel like that would be useful, especially when protecting when you have your own army and then another nation's army to help you out. So for our explanation, we can write down NATO was an agreement between the United States and other countries, and they would protect each other if attacked. Also, executive agreements occasionally deal with the armed forces of 2 different countries working together. All right, so make sure that your explanation includes specific details from those slides or even specific examples. The majority of your points for this assignment is going to be in that explanation part. So 7 out of the 10 points will be in the explanation. So make sure you don't skimp on those details. All right, if you guys have any questions, make sure you ask. If it's within our scheduled block, you can use the Google Meets. If it's not within our scheduled block, remember you can always come in during open office hours using that same link for Google Meets. Good luck, guys.